What's blocking your spiritual growth? This is an easy one. It's not easy to transcend, but it's easy to know what's blocking your spiritual growth. What's blocking your spiritual growth is too much identification with your ego in your human individual self. What is that? What's the ego and human individual self? You can say it's comprised of the idea that you think you are, your desires, your ambitions, your likes, your dislikes, your aversions, your goals, all that. This makes up this human individual self. That's cool. The human self is cool. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to communicate with each other if there's not a sense of a separate individual self. But the strong identity with this self, meaning if this is all you think you are, you're going to have problems. Why? Because God made it like that. Because it's our destiny to transcend the human self. So we have to suffer it. How do you suffer it? By being identified with it long enough, trying all the things that we think are going to make us happy, and seeing that it doesn't work. Then we hit bottom. And then we have transcendent power, because that's our instinct. Our instinct, God, our deepest instinct is true self-knowledge or self-realization. You can see my other channel, Spiritual Renaissance. I get even more deep into that. This channel is a little more intermediate, still advanced, but okay, because we got to work in stages here. And I can't put everything together on one channel because the algorithm doesn't understand. I got to play the game a little bit myself. That's cool. I'll play it, but I'm still saying what I want to say. So I'm not compromising too much. It's another thing. You don't want to compromise. You don't want to compromise to try to satisfy your little individual human projections. You have to realize, number one, that there's a power that's running everything. Like, it's created the ocean, it sustains it, this forest that I'm in, the bugs, the animals, the human beings. There's obviously a power that's taking care of, an unseen power that's running this show. I mean, that's more common sense than like saying that the sun's out right now. Obviously, there's some underlying, like, core level power that's taking care of everything. Well, spiritual process or growth or evolution is recognizing this power is inside us. And after we hit bottom, by believing so much we're this little human individual and not giving any credit or attention to this underlying power, when we hit bottom with that, then it starts to reverse. We start to give more attention to this power that's running everything. This subtle feeling of, you can say, existence, this life force that's flowing. There's something that's just taking care of everything. We start to give attention to that. We want to be merged with that, to have a relationship with that. Why? Because then we feel better. We still keep our human self. We don't end up, I remember I had a girlfriend. Man, the mind's a trip. This is all I like to talk about. So yeah, when I had girlfriends, this is all I talk about. So then I could tell though she wasn't feeling it somehow. And I'm a master at finding out why. At the expense of making them uncomfortable, whatever. Like, you gotta come to the level. Let's be on the level. Or let's not, like, what are we gonna talk about then? Otherwise. So then she finally admitted, she says, well, basically she's like, I'm not ready to just be like a Buddha that's sitting on a shelf or something and just om all day. See, the mind came up with that idea that somehow spiritual growth is going to turn you into something that you're not. We have a human form. God's created, multiplied himself in all these forms. He's playing as you, through you. So we have an individual destiny that we're here to fulfill and accomplish. So yeah, you don't grow spiritually and then just become a statue. What happens when you grow spiritually, you'll find out what your real destiny is. Some people, they play musical instruments or they like art, and their mind tells them, if I grow spiritually, I'm not going to want to do that anymore. No, if you're supposed to do that, you're going to do it better. You're going to be more enhanced because you're not going to be so identified with this individual form that you're going to access more unlimited power because you're going to be dialed in with the universal power. If you're an artist and you're only using your human limited power compared to if you had access to universal power, what do you think's better? It's like some of these songs or movies, you can just tell. You can tell the difference when a mind wrote and sang a song or created a movie versus if this movie or song was just inspired from the divine emptiness. It's different because it touches everybody, has power in it. So that's what's going to happen if you realize your true self. If you grow spiritually, you're going to be more efficient and enjoy life more. You're going to have your cake and you're going to eat it too. That's what's going to happen. You're not going to lose your cake or yourself, but you want to be in the highest version of yourself. So this is why this is what spiritual growth is for. So when we don't realize this deeper power that's inside us, then by default, we're going to be blocked spiritually. Because all of our attention is going into this superficial individual mechanism that we think is who we are. It's a byproduct of who we are, but it's not our essence. We need to know our essence so then the human form can flow better. It's like having a car and you're just putting bad gas in it all the time and you don't change the oil or do anything. It's not going to drive as good. If you take care of it, it's going to drive better. Taking care of this human form, number one, is having continuity in all aspects of your life, high vibrational continuity, but deeper than that is recognizing your essence, giving some attention to that. Then automatically you're going to have continuity. That's the thing. See, everyone's trying to, it's like you put the cart before the horse. You're like trying to fix things on the outside, but you're not giving any attention to the power that made all this possible in the first place. All right, so give some attention to that. That's the main obstacle of spiritual growth. That's the main thing. You start giving attention to this power. It's kind of an intangible, like I can't put in words what the power is. It's infinite. Like, you know, it's invisible and indivisible. But you can sense it because it's in you and it's everywhere. It's a subtle, nice kind of just vibration of existence, or Eckhart likes the word presence. Whatever you want to call it, be aware of it. That's what I'm trying to say. Leave me any questions you have. I have another channel, Beyond the Alchemy. If you a guy and you're struggling with lust and you want to practice semen retention, you can go see that. I have a channel for women. Divine Femininity deals with women issues. And then I have my other spiritual channel, Spiritual Renaissance. And I do private consults if anybody's interested. There you go. See you.